creations. If you're new to my channel and stopping by for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget, more everything on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube will notify you every time I'm uploading a new video. And if you're interested in following me on social media, you can find those links in the description box below. So what do I have going on for you for today? Today, I am bringing to you 3 more quick and easy DIY felt flowers. The feedback that I got from you all when I did the last tutorial on the last 3 flowers was amazing. You all really seemed to like it, and so I thought I'd bring you 3 more easy to do flowers, because the flowers that I do in this tutorial and flowers that I did in the last tutorial, I will be using in an upcoming DIY. If you didn't see my first tutorial on the first 3 easy to do felt flowers, I will link that video in the description box below if you're interested in watching it. These are so easy and budget friendly, and the best part is you can really get felt for 20 to 23 cents a sheet at Walmart. You can get them on sale pretty inexpensive at Joann's and Michael's too when they're on sale. But really, you buy $1's worth of felt and you're gonna get about 8 to 10 flowers. And so that's the amazing part, because if you just DIY these flowers yourself, you are getting so much more for your money, and you're crafting while you do it. And so that's the best part, because to me, crafting relaxes me and it just eases my mind and it makes my brain stop for that little bit that I'm crafting. And so that is my favorite part of doing YouTube. Anyway, enough of the gabbing. Let's jump into it and let me show you how easy these next 3 felt flowers are. You are gonna love these. For this first flower, I'm gonna start off with this brown piece of felt. It's 1.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long. I'm gonna fold this piece in half. Folding the felt in half just kind of speeds up the process a bit, makes it a bit easier. I'm gonna cut slits the length of this felt, and they're gonna be anywhere from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. I'm not measuring it, just gonna eyeball it. While keeping it folded in half, I'm gonna cut each slit into a triangle, just kind of shaving off the sides of each slit. I'm gonna do that to each slit, and by doing that, it's gonna give us a triangle-shaped petal. And you'll wanna make sure to fix the center petal, because this one came out awkward from where the felt was folded. And so this is what you should be left with. I did 3 strips like this. Now for this beige piece of felt, it was originally 1 inch wide by 8.5 inches long. This was in my first flower tutorial. I'll link that in the description box below. I just folded it in half and glued the edges together. I'm gonna take my scissors and cut slits in it, and I'm gonna do this to 2 pieces that are 8.5 inches long. Now I'm gonna take my hot glue and I'm gonna place just a bit of hot glue on the edges that I hot glued together, and I'm gonna roll this piece of felt. You wanna be sure and roll it, not put it flat, because we need the hole here in the middle. You're just gonna continue to put glue along this bottom edge and roll this felt the full length of the felt. Once I've completely rolled this first felt strip, I'm gonna go ahead and add the second one, because this is gonna be the center of our flower. And I'm looking for a larger center to this flower. That's why I'm using 2 strips of felt. This is what you should be left with. We are almost done with this first flower. Now I'm gonna take and hot glue my brown felt with the triangle petals on it around the outside of my center. Now keep in mind, these are colors that I'm using that work for me, that go with the decor of my house. And I'm also doing these flowers for an upcoming DIY. So I figured, since I'm doing the flowers in this tutorial and showing you all how to do them, I'm gonna do them in the colors that I'm gonna need for this upcoming DIY that I will be adding to the decor of my home. You can very easily use any colors you'd like. This is such a versatile DIY that it's just gonna change the style of your flower based on the colors that you use. And so obviously I like that rustic earth tone look, and so that's why I'm going with the browns and beiges. And so I'm gonna continue to hot glue this brown felt strip with the triangle petals around the outside, and I'm gonna try and do it so my petals are offset from the first row. As you continue to go around, you're gonna notice that your petals may line up, so if you just kind of crease it a bit at the bottom, you'll be able to offset your petals a bit, and that's the look that you want for this flower. And there we just did a super quick and easy, inexpensive sunflower. I love the look of these. And now to finish off the back, I just cut a circle using my beige felt. And I'm gonna fold this in half because again, this is in preparation for an upcoming DIY that I will be using these flowers for. And I'm gonna cut a slit in the center. Then I'm gonna fold it the other way and cut another slit, giving us a hole in the center of this circle. I'm gonna hot glue this to the back of my flower, being sure not to put any glue in the center where the hole is that we originally did with our beige felt. And I'm gonna line that hole up with the hole in my circle, covering up the back, just giving it a more finished look. Then just cut off the excess felt around the bottom. And would you look at that? Quick and easy. And again, you want to make sure that this hole is accessible from the back because it will be needed in an upcoming DIY that I'm going to be bringing to you real soon. Now for this second flower, I'll be using dark brown felt. And again, I'm going to cut a strip that's 1 to 1.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long. I'm gonna fold it in half and I'm gonna cut squares out of this strip. I'm eyeballing it. They're about 1 inch by 1 inch squares that I'm cutting. These squares are going to be the petals of our flower, so I'm gonna fold it in half just like so. Then taking my scissors, I'm gonna cut off one of the points, giving us a flat edge, just like so. Then on this flat edge here, I'm gonna cut a slit up, just shortening up this side just a bit. So when I open it up, it looks like a house. Again, just fold it in half so you've got a triangle. Put your point down. And on one of the points on the side, we're gonna cut it off and make a flat edge. Then on this edge here, we're gonna trim just a bit off, and that's all there is to these petals, leaving us with this. For this flower, I'll be making 30 of these petals. Now for each of these petals that I cut out, the house petals, here at the top is the point. You're gonna fold in the two sides, leaving you with this, which is the petal. And I'm just gonna place a dab of hot glue on each of the sides so when I fold them in, it holds them down. And there we've just created our petal. It moves along pretty quickly once you get started. It's just kind of getting in the motion and getting in the rhythm. This flower takes maybe 10 minutes to do. This is what each of your petals should look like. I did this to all 30 of my squares. For this flower, you kind of build up from the base of your flower, which is the circle at the bottom. And so I'm cutting that out of brown felt. You want your base to be the same color as your petals. And again, I'm gonna put a slit in the center of my base in preparation for an upcoming DIY that I'll be doing using these flowers. Now for the center of my flower, I'll be using this beige felt, and I cut a bit of a longer slit in it. I'm showing you 2 strips because I'm using my scraps to do this. If you've got a longer strip, perfect, use it. I'm gonna roll this just like I did in the first flower, making sure to leave a hole. You don't want it flat. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it in my upcoming DIY. I'm gonna continue to roll both my strips together. And again, this is forming the center of our flower. Then I'm just gonna hot glue the center of my flower to the center of my base, and again, making sure not to put any hot glue in the middle of the center of our flower. We wanna leave that hole open and accessible. And so this is what you should be left with so far. Then I'm gonna take and hot glue my petals to the outside edge of the base of this flower, which is that brown circle. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you're leaving a space in between your petals and the center of your flower. And I'm gonna place petals around the whole outside edge of the base. You'll be left with this first outside row of petals. Now we're gonna add our second row of flowers. When you're placing these flowers, you really want to try and offset them from the first row of flowers because that's just going to give it a bit more dimension. I'm using hot glue. There's a felt glue. You could use a Leans glue or a fabric glue if you'd like. Try not to worry too much about any of the hot glue that you're seeing right now in the seams from where we made the petals because it's not going to show when we're done. I prefer to use hot glue because it moves the project a bit quicker. Now it's time to add our third and final row, and I found that if you leave the petals the size that they are when we made them, they're a bit too long, so I cut just a bit off the end to shorten them. Again, this gives it more dimension, going from wider to smaller in the center. And I'm gonna place these right up against the beige center of our flower. And would you look at what a pretty flower that makes? It is so quick and easy, budget friendly. We've got access to the hole in the back, which we need. This flower is a nice size. Look at the size of it in my hand. Switching up the colors totally changes the look of the flower. I love these. So far we've done these two gorgeous flowers. I've got one more super quick and easy one for you. For this next flower, I'll be using this pink felt, and I'm just gonna cut a square out. Doesn't matter what size. If you cut out a larger size square, you're gonna have a bigger flower. A smaller square, you're gonna have a smaller flower. Then just very simply, you're gonna cut a spiral all the way to the center of this square, leaving you with this. And because I want to get the most out of my felt, I really don't want to waste it. I'm going to round off the corners of my square. And by doing that, you went from it being square to somewhat round. Don't worry about it being perfect. It's just going to add to the character of this flower. Now I'm going to take this outside end and I'm going to just simply roll it in all the way to the center of this spiral circle that we've cut. Once you've completely rolled your spiral, you want to make sure and hold your flower from the top and the bottom pretty tightly and go ahead and loosen up some of those rows, pull them out, pull some of them up. You want to kind of add some dimension to this flower because the more you loosen it and pull it, it's going to give it character and it's going to bring on the look of a rose instead of just a piece of felt rolled up in a spiral. On the bottom here, which is the center of our spiral, it will fit perfectly right in the center, so just go ahead and hot glue that to finish your flower off and give it that nice finished look. And would you look at that? We've just made a rose in under 5 minutes. It doesn't get any easier than that. You could also add leaves to these flowers. This is a template that I made. I found this on Google image search. I'll link that in the description box below. I just printed out, cut it, and traced it onto felt. If you've got a Cricut, you could search for leaves and you could cut it out with your Cricut. And this leaf really is kind of a universal leaf that you can make work for any flower just by gluing it to the sides of each flower or even the bottom of this rose. I told you these are easy and the outcome is so stinking cute. I am addicted to felt flowers now. I am loving them. I am enjoying doing them and there are so many more to do. And so if you all want to still see more felt flowers that are easy to do, let me know in the comments below and I will see what I can do. I I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please give this video a thumbs up and let's get this video to 5,000 likes because those thumbs up, they really do help my channel to grow. And like I always say, it helps YouTube to notice me just a bit more. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget, and bye for now, everybody.